All right, chapter 6. You want us to pluck the eggs, corn, and peanuts.
This was very tough for me because eggs, I've always felt like are like the perfect food.
They're yum.
And
I love eggs.
they're just, I mean, they're so easy to do if you're trying to eat a lower carb diet. This is such a quick source of protein. And then I started to look at all these food sensitivity tests, and gosh, they were one of the highest. It was eggs and dairy, the highest reactions. I'm like, damn. Now, there's two things here with the eggs. You are what you eat. So I always wonder with the eggs, is it the egg or is it because the chicken is being fed GMO corn and soy? So it's very important as you go through this program, you're going to pull the eggs out for 3 weeks, and they can be a trigger for autoimmune disease. But when you do bring back pastured eggs. So for me, I will eat pastured eggs like once or twice a week, no problem. But if I go back to eating crappy eggs, which, factory eggs are like eating factory chicken or farmed salmon or, that factory meat, it's crap, right?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So that's the egg deal. And again, no eggs. And again, warning for everybody out there, eggs are in everything.
They're in everything. Well, if you don't eat processed food, then you no longer have an issue with any of it.
Yes.
And they even have avocado oil mayonnaise now. So
I love choice foods. I love it.
So in Primal Kitchen.
Primal Kitchen, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've known Mark for 30 years. So I have to always do a shout out to Mark Sisson. So as far as corn goes, corn is just a junk food. First of all, it's genetically modified. It's sprayed with a bunch of stuff, but it's high starch with not, some of the higher starch foods like potatoes have more resistant starch. So awesome, but not corn. Mm-hmm. It's going to be, a higher starch, turn into sugar, easily food that is genetically modified. There's just nothing positive to be said here about it.
And I really feel that corn is so addictive. I mean, between cornflakes and popcorn. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you go into a movie theater. We stopped going into a movie theater. We watch movies in our own theater now because I can't resist the smell. And of course, that popcorn is toxic.
And it's endless buckets.
It's endless buckets. Who are they feeding?
Oh my gosh. Of that crappy, that is the grossest stuff ever. Horrible.
Poison. It's just poison. And you've got someone eating on your left, you've got someone eating on your right. So
they're having a Diet Coke with it, which is but remember the air poppers, and I just remember eating, so much of that crap. All it does is hijack your blood sugar, raises your blood sugar, raises your insulin. And they're what my buddy Dr. Alan Christensen calls dry carbs. And I love this description of dry carbs. They're your trigger foods. So I don't know one person anywhere who could have 1 cup of popcorn.
So true.
Like ever. So that always drove me crazy too. I'm like, if it's a trigger food, I don't care. Too much healthy food's unhealthy. We need to eat less often anyway.
Yeah, we should.
So that's corn. And then peanuts are not a nut.
They're a bean.
They're a bean. They're a legume. I learned that when I was doing the Virgin Diet audiobook. I learned that it's not a legume. It's a legume. It's a legume.
It's got mold in it. It's like one of the highest mold products.
Yeah, it's one of the highest aflatoxin foods. And the problem is they don't test for it. So it's
poisoning your kids, giving them peanut butter sandwiches.
Like, why have that when I just feel fortunate growing up? I never liked the peanut butter sandwich, but like almond butter, macadamia nut butter, pecan butter, you can get these everywhere now. So, and almond butters are awesome. They actually have a compound in them that helps your body absorb less of the fat.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I've got a 13-year-old. My 19-year-old is in college. It's too late to do anything for her at this point, but my newly turned 14-year-old still at home, so I get to experiment on her. And she still actually listens to me because, I pack her lunches. So I started experimenting, and, she's been Nutella. You never give me Nutella. I'm the most deprived.
You can make Nutella from, I use my chocolate protein powder with almond butter.
Oh, so I do hazelnuts. I buy just hazelnuts. I raw organic hazelnuts, roast them, grind them up with your chocolate protein powder, and just toss a little bit of maca root because it's so good for you anyway, and you know, all that good stuff. And I'll put a little bit of organic honey, and I kid you not, it is so close. Oh, and cacao nibs. It's just like a Nutella.
And you've got protein. I mean, like, and now it's healthy for you. That's what's so cool. Like, so cool.
It is, and it's such a yummy treat. And so I've saved my position of being the mother. You know, she's back to.
Okay, just wait on your kids. Like my kids growing up, you know, they were always a little irritated by all of this. And then my one kid goes off to college. He goes, you know, if you wanted to give me some vitamins, I'd take them. Like, that's interesting. And then I start looking at his Instacart orders. The kid is like, he's now doing a lot of our recipe creation for the company.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
so
awesome.
It all wears off on them, even if they get like act like they're not paying attention.
Oh, hashtag proud mom, JJ Virgin.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.